For the moment, we'll shift our attention to another battleground, the Taliban Strait. China is going ballistic. It continues to punish Taiwan for hosting Nancy Pelosi. Here is the latest. These missiles are now literally flying over Taiwan, and China is expected to continue doing this till Sunday. With each passing day, they're raising the stakes. First, the military moves, now an economic strike. Today, China sanctioned Nancy Pelosi. It snapped diplomatic engagement with the United States. The Taiwan Strait has been militarized. What will Xi Jinping do next? That's what we'll discuss tonight. How China's plan for Taiwan is shaping up. First, the latest from the Chinese drills. Earlier this week, Beijing launched a range of operations. The Chinese military has encircled Taiwan. Rockets are now flying in every direction. Now look at this map. This is Taiwan, and these are 6 danger zones around the islands. We've been showing you this map all week. This is where the PLA is conducting drills. Missiles are flying from the mainland, and they are landing in every corner. A few missiles went over Taiwan. They landed in Japan's exclusive economic zone, or what they call the EEZ. This area falls in Japan's jurisdiction. Think of it as Japan's sovereign territory. Chinese missiles are landing there. Tokyo has released an assessment. It says at least 5 missiles have landed in Japan's EEZ. And this, by the way, is the biggest ever military operation around Taiwan. Chinese bombers and fighter jets are in the air. Warships around Taiwan are conducting strikes. Chinese soldiers are practicing how to blockade the island. So how is Taiwan defending itself? This is what their president, Tsai Ing-wen, said today.
I would like to emphasize that we will not escalate conflicts or provoke disputes, but we will firmly defend our sovereignty and national security and stick to the line of defense of democracy and freedom. We are calm and not impetuous. We are rational and not provocative, but we will also be firm and not shrink.
Taiwan needs a long-term plan to deal with the PLA. Nancy Pelosi's visit has precipitated the crisis for this island. Taiwan calls itself an independent and sovereign state, but China disagrees. It calls Taiwan a breakaway province, a province that China must control using force if needed. And Nancy Pelosi is not done yet. She's weighing in on the fallout of her visit.
We have said from the start that our representation here is not about changing the status quo here in Asia, changing status quo in Taiwan. It's about, again, the Taiwan Relations Act, the U.S.-China policy, all of the pieces of legislation and agreements that have established what our relationship is, to have peace in the Taiwan Straits and to have the status quo prevail.
But the status quo has changed. If Pelosi was not convinced earlier, maybe this will change her mind. China has sanctioned Nancy Pelosi and her family. They can no longer visit China, Hong Kong or Macau, and they cannot do business with China. And that's not all. China has also launched a comprehensive diplomatic response against the U.S. And it is calling them the 8 countermeasures. What are these countermeasures? Let's tell you. 3 important defense dialogues have been suspended. The China-US Theater Commanders Dialogue, the Defense Policy Coordination Talks, and meetings for a military maritime agreement. What else? Cooperation on 5 key issues stands suspended. Repatriation of illegal immigrants, legal assistance in criminal matters, transnational crimes, counter-narcotics cooperation and climate change. China will no longer work with the US on any of these matters. This is heading towards a complete breakdown in the relationship. Beijing has effectively ended dialogue with Washington, D.C. How does the US see these moves? US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has called China's actions, quote-unquote, a significant escalation.
The fact is, the speaker's visit was peaceful. There is no justification for this extreme, disproportionate, and escalatory military response. Let me say again that nothing has changed about our One China policy, which is guided by the Taiwan Relations Act, the 3 communiques, and the 6 assurances.
Blinken may try his best to spin it. Beijing is not buying any of it. It seems prepared to fight with everyone over Taiwan. Let's tell you what happened with Japan today. Japan protested the Chinese drills. Their Prime Minister Fumio Kishida called on Beijing to stop immediately. Here's what the Chinese wolf warriors said.
The Japanese government, your leaders have recently behaved very badly over the Taiwan issue, causing great discontent among the Chinese people. As we have already said, Japan bears a serious historical responsibility on the Taiwan issue, and Japan is not qualified to say anything to China over the Taiwan issue.
Japan is behaving very badly, she said. What should they do then? Allow Chinese missiles to blow them up? China has turned the Taiwan Strait into a war zone. This region is an important trade link for the world. 22% of global trade passes through here. But the PLA has shut everything down. Since Wednesday, 70 flights from Taiwan have been cancelled. Several ships are being forced to sail around the danger zone. And the risk is this. This disruption could be permanent. Experts say these drills are a peek into the future, a preview of what could happen if China decides to invade Taiwan. In fact, I have a statement from Major General Meng Xiangqing. He's a professor at the PLA National Defense University in Beijing, and here is how he described the drills near Taiwan. I'm quoting, "This establishes an encirclement of Taiwan Island. This creates very good conditions for reshaping the strategic situation in a way that benefits unification." So that could be China's endgame. Beijing wants to force Taiwan into submission through relentless coercion. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.